difficulty at the moment, and just fixing that. So, they think believe they're fixing it. Yep, all done.
All right, now
All
we
right.
can hear you.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Well, welcome to the LDM show. But like I said, it's 90. It was 92, 94, something
It
like
was
that.
hot. That's what it was. It was
But
90,
the wind
it
was
90
good.
hot.
The wind was good.
What wind?
The hot wind. That thing was putting me to sleep. I was wishing I was like on a Hamlet and just.
What? Where did you find this wind? I was in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh,
could
no,
not,
it was windy
and
over
could
here.
not catch a breeze.
Oh, it was windy over here, but it was warm wind. So, but that's why people were outside falling asleep. They were sitting down falling asleep. But yeah, and even the bus, it was kind of hot. There we go. But it's going up, and it's supposed to rain, I guess. You know, every time that heat,
Yeah.
it's gonna hit the rain, so you got to watch that. But other than that, it was all good. You know, I like when it's warm. Well, today was too hot, and then I had to pick the all days to be redoing the bed and everything because we had to put a new frame and all that.
Oh, so you were working in the heat.
Yeah, so I had to turn off the AC because the door's open. So it's like, oh,
That's
my
rough,
God.
bro. That's rough.
So that was like the worst hour. I was like, damn, now I know how they feel in hell. You know? So I was like, but other than that, everything looking okay, you know. But you know how we do. We're going to talk about some little news that is going on. So we're going to hit some word on the street. So. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say, y'all people that don't want to believe us, conspiracy people, y'all better start listening.
Aliens.
Not well, the alien that came down and stuff, you know. But the stupid iPhone people, y'all think y'all fly because y'all got to do face thing, fingerprint thing, all this stuff. You know that was just collecting data.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was in the research studies for that.
Yeah, and that. Answer these questions. What's your favorite? Do you want my social too?
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm
no,
saying
they already have it.
I think that's the stupidest thing, but they're using it to identify people in the streets and all that, which is good. Well, the New York Transit has 12 cameras, IA, on the turnstops to see the people that is jumping. AI, I'm sorry. Their claim is they just want to see how are they doing and everything. Yeah, but so far they found out that the cops been going and sending them tickets or even arresting them. But you're not using it for the fair jumping. You're just using it for research. How you doing, Rosa? There ain't no way you're going to put face, detections and all this, and this artificial intelligence and all this stuff.
No, the biometric stuff has always been used by the government for like either protecting information or to obtain information. So why do you think it's changed in 2023?
Yeah, but by the end of the year, they're supposed to have 24 more.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're going to have 24 more stations. So y'all people that are jumping and going on the bus, why you think they got the camera right at the doors and stuff? Don't be surprised they start giving y'all tickets.
That would make
in the
you
mail.
happy.
Yeah, it would make me happy. Hey, John, that was the purpose. Well, they said the purpose was to figure out how they've been jumping. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they lift their leg up.
Yeah, you don't need a camera and a face, recognitions and intelligence and all this other stuff to see how they jump. No. So what you gonna do? You're gonna put a barricade? That's because if you're figuring out how they're gonna jump, then that means you're trying to put a stopper, right? They're not putting a stopper, but
something that swings open when you swipe it or tap or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean that's a good idea.
But to me, kudos
it's not
to
gonna
you.
Work.
Kudos.
I mean, you really want to stop people jumping turnstiles. You need to forget the turnstiles and talk about the ones that just get on the back of the bus.
Yeah, no, the bus, everything, So that's kudos to you. MTA, I'm all for it. But the people that are not for it is the nonprofit legal group that advocates for privacy rights in New York City. I hope one of y'all guys are watching this video. There is no privacy in the public. You can't have it both ways. You can't have these guys filming and complaining that, I can film as long as I'm on a public area and, without your concern. There's no privacy in public. Everybody knows that. So when you go out to a train, there's two things that MTA that you don't need to worry about. One, it's public. Two, They came into your business. So in your business, you can record whoever you want.
I think the issue is this, right? If the transit's supposed to be a government organization, but it's not a government organization, right?
Right. It's a business.
Right. It's a business.
It's a business.
Right. The amount of personal information they can get from a photo generator or whatever system about you for the cops, and it's like
that's why they upset
it's
for
how many people between you and the people who are allowed to have your information would have your information.
See, but then
that's the issue.
But this is the gray area. It's called security.
Yeah.
And every camera in your stores got security.
Except these aren't security cameras. They're saying they're research cameras.
That's what they messed it up for.
Did I sign a waiver for research?
That's what they messed it up for. Just say they security, and if you jump, we're gonna get your face and we're gonna send it to the cops. There ain't no such thing as privacy when you say that, because it is a business. Mm-hmm. And if you come into my business and you commit a crime, I'm going to give that tape to the police. Mm-hmm. The same thing. It's a business. They lost $690 million. I don't care who the heck you think you guys are skipping the trains, but this is a business. What will happen if they get mad and say, you know what, I'm shutting the trains down?
Wait. How are you calculating $690 million if you can't even calculate how many people jumped?
No, go in the bus. You hear that boop, boop, boop. That's the guy pressing the button. How many people came in without paying? So that's how they doing on the bus. So I guess that's how they doing on the train.
There ain't nobody at the train to see you.
No, but these intelligent...
At 12 stations. How many stations are in New York?
You figure 12 of them skipped 10. They're going to say 10 of them skipped over there too.
Nah, that's not how that works. Believe me, that's not how that works.
But... not only that, they already have, like, okay, in 2021, I made $690 million. Mm-hmm. Now in 2023, I'm only making $100 million.
That's only
so that's how they
That's
only
proof of less ridership, which can also be contributed by an upscale of rideshare and people
he's a nice
out
one.
The city.
Well, we're from New York.
No, I'm not the nice one. I'm the one that remembers that in the 90s, they had 2 sets of books saying that they had extra profit that they didn't want to tell them the same time. The government. So I don't.
It's a state agency that runs by the governor of New York.
Yeah, I don't.
It's run, but it's not owned. That's a lot of things people saying that is run by the governor here.
Prove it.
It's run, but it's not owned by the New York.
I'm telling you, they ain't losing that $700 million. They're only telling you that so that way they can get bigger subsidies from the government.
Yeah.
They ain't. Yeah, because it's already been proven that they lied on their official books and they have their actual records.
Yeah.
Look it up. Just look it up. They've already proven it. I think it was during Giuliani was mayor when this happened. So don't trust the hype. Don't trust the hype. And believe the numbers don't add up. They say we're losing $700 million a year. How is it consistent amount of money that you're losing when you're not talking about the amount of people moving out the city because prices have gone up? The amount of people who've actually started driving around the city, people moving upstate.
And they're
not paying attention to these numbers.
And they're gonna lose a little bit, not probably 1%. They're gonna lose from the scooters. Because now people are getting those kick scooters.
There are more bike lanes in the city. There are more rideshare services. There's scooter services. People are finding alternate means to travel because they're tired of paying.
It's not a big dent. Like that's what I said, like 1%.
You say that, but and then you don't have an actual way, like an actual certain way. Yeah, you don't have an actual certain way to count the number of people who are skipping the rides.
Right.
You don't.
Yeah.
That dude, even if you're talking about that guy pressing the button.
Yeah.
Right? How you count all the people that came? Like if 30 people come into the back, that just looks like a flood of people. You you punching that thing 30 times. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's not going to be accurate, but they just going to go with what they lost. Like I can know how much I lost by my profit. You know what I mean? But being a New Yorker, I know they losing a lot of money because we sat there, me and my son, and we were counting 30 people before we even got to 3 stops.
I'm sure they're losing.
You know what I mean? They losing. But anyway, that's, what's word on the street so far. It is getting crazy. Pay your fee. The fee is going to go up a little. So they even trying, like, if you do 10 rides, they give you the whole rest of the week for free. If you use the...
that's just an unlimited Metro card.
The app.
Yeah, so that's nothing new.
The Omni.
So essentially what they're doing with Omni is that you're paying, so I think it's connected to your bank account over the case maybe. You pay for the first 10, they give you the rest of the week off. But if you do the math, it's the same number of rides that it costs for an unlimited Metro card. Like if you do the
weekly?
Right. So your weekly is like $33 now, right?
Okay.
If you do $275 times 10, so you're paying $33 to have unlimited rides instead of just $27.50 for 10 rides. Yeah, monthly is $127.
But the unlimited is good for a person that takes turnstiles and buses doors have sensors. Oh, okay. So that's probably how they knowing. But
technology. Correctly.
But the thing is that
I trust that.
Yeah, the one that says, "Please move away from the door. Please move away from the door." That annoying stuff.
All day long.
That annoying thing. But
no. There's
how
no
you call
accurate method. Trust me.
The 10 rides is good for a person that takes the train to a bus to another bus. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're taking a train to a bus, you're going to get a transfer anyway. So one ride is good. But if you're taking a train to a bus and then you got to take another bus, then that unlimited is good.
But that
if you're taking 7 days a week,
that counts as your second ride on the Omni thing, though, too.
Which one? If you take the train to the bus?
Yeah, so if you take the train to the bus,
that's a regular
ride.
Yeah, but then you got to pay the other one.
It counts on your Omni count as well.
As another pay.
As another pay, right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the unlimited is good for them.
No, unlimited is a good thing, but you're not doing unlimited with Omni. Essentially,
that 10. Yeah.
Rides,
okay, yeah.
And then you're getting the rest free.
I gotcha. But pay your bill. Because people like us are paying. And I'm so glad that when we take the bus, we be having these cool bus drivers. Because I tell them straight. I look in, I'm like, oh, all these people just came from the back and I don't got a seat? The guy was like, go ahead. Because I was like, I'm not paying if I can't get a seat because you let all these people sit down. That's not fair. And then they run to the front. So one time I told the guy, I said, oh, that's nice. They give all of them free like that? Like you couldn't run to the back? I was being sarcastic to him. We're rated. And he looked at me, oh, you want to sit down? I said, that'll be nice, since I paid. Like he got up and left. Like he didn't know what to say to me. Like he was like, damn. No. I don't care who it is. And then the one person that put his bag, I was like, oh, so that bag pays $275 too?
I mean.
And she moved it. She was like, all you had to do was telling me to move. And then I was like, all you had to do was not put it there.
Right.
Because if you're putting it there, you're trying to tell someone they can't sit
down.
there.
Yeah.
Get the heck out of here. Move that crap.
Nah, because the whole thing is like the Chinese bus, right? That's always been their system. If you go there and you don't want to sit next to somebody, they're like, you pay for extra ticket, I'll let you keep an open seat.
Oh yeah, they do that on the
Fenghua, the Lucky Star, the whatever.
The train, the Greyhounds and all that. If you don't want no one to sit,
pay that extra seat. I think that's standard practice.
And at that time, I think there was a big fight about it because if you were big and you were taking 2 seats, they were charging you for the 2 seats.
And they need to.
And then they got mad, said, no, that's inhumanity. No.
That's me losing profit.
Yeah, you're taking someone else's seat. So, I don't know. But anyway, that was word on the streets for today. MTA, keep doing your job, but don't say it's research. Say it's security. That's all. That's the great, loophole through it. And then they can't
Show
say
me all
crap.
the books.
Yeah, they say crap.
Show me all the books.
I know, right? But we're going to get a little bit of... Oh, no, let's go to the movie stuff before we do anything.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, here's another word on the street. I forgot. There's a mass protest in India because there's a film that these guys came and grabbed the lady, beat her up, took her to the woods, raped her and everything. There's a bunch of what they're calling a mob, mobsters that are going to towns, burning them down and everything. And they protesting because the governor of that city, so-called, said, oh, I didn't know that was going on. They found out he knew what was going on. The only reason why he's reacting is because that one got caught on video. So now he wants to react. So they're trying to take him out. But I'm sorry to say, India, I'm sorry that this is going on. But that's a male chauvinist a country. So they're not going to really do nothing. The women's are like the lowest, factor.
There's lower than being a woman in India. There's a whole caste lower than just being a woman in India. But
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's.
They need to get him out.
They definitely do. But who would believe that the governor didn't know about a string of rape cases happening
and burning of towns?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense. That would mean that the cops are completely unaware. The question is whether or not he's a part of it.
That's why I was saying.
Maybe there's a
maybe
reason
he just wanted to stay shut because he was getting some.
He's probably getting paid because they're destroying stuff so that a business can come in and take over.
Yeah.
India,
keep protesting, get him out. That's all.
Don't protest. Revolt.
Yeah, get him out. Somehow, some way, you got to get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know him. I don't know what was going on. But when I seen that in the news,
that's ridiculous.
I was like, wow. And again, LDM Network, if you click on news, they have like stroves of news popping up. That's where I got it from.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, snap. I clicked on it. I was like, what the heck is going on in India? Like, they burning houses and everything, and these a bunch of men that just come into towns and do what the heck they want. Where's the police? Where's the the protection? Like, come on now, we need these stuff. But so far, they have been, at least casting down on the guys that were on the video, like catching them. At least that. To me,
that's nothing. But
to me, the big bosses was like, listen, I got to sacrifice you.
I mean, but that's a given. If anybody knows anything about affiliations and stuff like that, if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you keep your mouth shut and all your people stay alive.
Yep. But those two things were word on the streets, so hopefully you like it. Again, LDMnetwork.net has a bunch of news, and the LDMShow.net has a bunch of news if you go to the news. So, but there's another thing that's hitting Twitter and Instagram, people making other people pick which side they want if they mix. Like, why do you have to pick a side? Why can't you just be both?
Why? That's easy. Because the history in this country says you are one.
They too. My son don't have to pick which one or another.
Oh, he is. He falls in the black. He's just not white. So
he's just human to me. And they making people say either you're now. I can say you more of the other if, like, let's say if me and her
single parent
and if me and her had him, but we're living in the Philippines, so then maybe he's more Filipino because he's living there. Well, since he's living here, he's more American here. But we don't consider him that. We consider him a mixed child or an interracial child. That's all. Why people gotta always want to label something or no, you're this. Why you not acting black? He's mixed, like, because that's where it all came out. There was this one guy that he is intelligent, he speaks intelligent. He was like, oh, you got to act black. He said, first of all, I'm mixed. Well, you forgot about us? Why? Because I speak intelligent?
Well, that happens to black people who can speak intelligent too. So
yeah, no, but that's why of course I speak intelligent. Of course I was born. He was like, I had no choice of where I was raised and born at. That was my parents. He was like, and second of all because I'm intelligent doesn't mean that I'm not embracing my black side. He was like, my mom, who's white, makes sure I know all the history. He was like, I probably know more of the history of being black than you do. He was like, you want to test it right now? The guy stood shut.
But you see, that's the thing that a lot of intelligent blacks use. Like, well, I know all the facts. Yeah, but your experience is going to be completely different than the person
now
who
the
lived
experience,
right?
but he wasn't talking about experience, he's talking about history.
Live everything that those guys did, where you are just know what you know what I'm saying. So I hate that argument.
And then vice versa, because the ghetto person would not know how a black person lives in the city. Because there's one guy that said, people think that, of course, we're rich and we're black, that we have it good living in the rich area. He says we don't. We have to fight and everything. So they do not know each other's part.
No,
but knowing the history helps.
The reason why they say pick is because in a lot of, and especially, let's take a country like Haiti, right? There's a colorism issue in the community, right? So a lot of the mixed people don't identify, or some of them even think that they're better because they're lighter and stuff like that. Right. There's a history of America the way that like the one drop rule. Like if you had a little bit of this, and same thing with if you had a little bit of Jew in you when you were in Germany, right? So there's just a history of the fact that people will.
I was too young. I couldn't have no.
But no, like it's not necessarily just the individual, but it's the fact that society as a whole, especially if your mixture is white and black, it's a lot different if your mixture is of two minority races, right? Mm-hmm. So in the case of your son, they're just kind of like, you're racially ambiguous. What are you, right? And they ask him that, and he'll say, I'm Filipino, Puerto Rican. They'll be like, oh, cool, right? But no one's going to call him mixed. In fact,
especially if you're mixed with a white and black, but you look white.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you're not.
You gotta be able to play basketball.
You're not black. At least throw the ball. Oh, you can't even get a 3-pointer. Now you know what I mean.
Like, bro, you're Klay Thompson.
That's like a tall 7-footer that can't play ball. They're like, why? You know.
But that's what it is. It goes back to the history of how race has been looked at in many cultures, and I know a lot of times people want to talk about America, but it's not just America. Mm-hmm. So that mixed blood thing is just historically been, and it doesn't matter. We could talk about like Italian or French, and which one are you? And some of those, culturally, it's just that people
wherever you are more raised, I think that's where you. Makes sense, right? That's who more you are. Because I know a lot of black kids that they look white, but they had the curly hair. Yeah. They don't really know that much of blackness because they raised in the white area.
Yeah.
That's understandable, but you can't fault them for something that their parents worked hard to make sure that they're going to get, correct. I was like, that's the whole business of being parents. You want better. So because you didn't make your kids better by moving them somewhere, it's not their fault. So stop with your bull crapping, But we're going to hit a little bit of movie. There's one movie that is getting vibes around here. But, so here's our first skip it or keep it segment on this show. So hit that little video clip. No, skip it or keep it. It's shit to be there. But anyway, maybe. All right, well, we're going to watch it or skip it. I said skip it or keep it. I knew it was some title. It was watch it or skip it. All right, Barbie, the movie. Just Barbie, the movie, when it first came out, just the name alone, I said skip it.
Skip.
I said skip it.
Skippity skip.
But
Skippity
we got 2 thumbs down on that one.
Ryan Gosling Ken was enough for me.
What was that one? That was the other.
No,
yeah, this one. Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah, because there's 2 Kens in there, right? Or 3?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm skipping it.
Well, I don't know. There's so many Barbies. But anyway, as soon as I said Barbie the movie, I was like, skip.
Yep.
But they're gonna ban it in Vietnam, Asia, Philippines, and all that stuff. Just because they showed in the map that the sea was from China, where that part of the sea is not from China, is from whoever wants to really stop fighting, basically.
Right.
So that was one part. But then the other part is that now American men are talking about they're bashing men. They made Ken look stupid. They made the other guy look like he's dumb and he needs a woman. They can't do nothing without the woman. So it's like a reversal.
Look.
But Barbie's always been like that.
Barbie was not always like that, right?
No, Barbie's all into everything. She's an astronaut. She's this, she's that,
But you see, Barbie was meant to be a doll that could represent female empowerment in the sense that women can do anything. At no point in time was it to make men lesser. And it's an original purpose, right?
Right.
That's why eventually, Barbie gets Ken. Then they make Barbie, there's Asian Barbie, there's a black Barbie. I don't know why they're all Barbie, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to use
That's why I didn't understand.
They were trying to use it to represent all different groups. Like eventually you see that in American Girl dolls and stuff like that and whatever. And they had their male counterparts. So it wasn't just Ken. Eventually there was a black guy and an Asian guy and this guy, and then they started doing interracial stuff. But the point being, if you're making a movie that's meant to make Barbie and them better, because look at Legally Blonde, right? Legally Blonde is my favorite Barbie-esque movie because essentially it's that you have this woman who people are doubtful of because her aesthetics, right?
Yep, and her blonde hair,
right? And then she goes and then proves them all that she's actually quite more competent than you would expect. She's not the dumb person you thought. She has more depth to her than you're expecting, and she's quite intelligent. She's essentially what Barbie is supposed to be. Right. And
to knock the stereotype.
She definitely in the movie she makes several men look stupid, but it wasn't to show that men are stupid. It's to show that this girl is more than what you're expecting. Like she can rise to the occasion, that anyone can rise to the occasion despite what people may think of them. So I can appreciate that. And if you have a whole entire movie where pretty much all the guys are duh.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
It's misandry.
There's one part that he's like, yeah, I'm about to surf. And Barbie's like, you can't surf there because everything is plastic. Yeah, I could. I'm going to surf. Watch. And then he goes, smacks right into the thing. See, I told them they don't listen. So it's like, wait. What are you talking about? So now you're telling us that we're dumb. So a lot of the males, but any male that was fighting about this movie, that means that you were going to go watch it anyway?
Pretty much.
Listen, I'm sorry. Even if I have a daughter and she wants to watch that would be the day that she goes to the movie by herself. But that would be the day that she goes by herself. I'll be the next door. You know what I mean? Here's the phone with the GPS. Don't leave this one. I'm next door watching Transformers. No, you know what I'm saying? I'll be watching something else.
I instantly saw the trailer and was telling people like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, based off the trailer, I wasn't.
Off the trailer. One thing about this movie too that got me was that like there's a literal world shortage of pink paint in this world. Like that's a thing because they use up so much pink paint making this movie.
Yeah, it's
there's a random fun fact about the film. I'm like, why does anyone even know that we're missing pink paint? But it's a thing.
yeah.
Thanks, Barbie.
Everything
A global shortage.
Either what was it, hot pink, regular pink,
I don't know.
fusion pink. You know what I'm saying? They like all this pink.
Pink.
But off the trailer, Meg 2 or Meg 2.
The Meg 2.
So off the trailer, what you think? Did you see the trailer yet?
I saw the trailer. I'll be honest
What's
with
that?
you.
I was gonna say John Stamos.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
It is I would say it's to skip theaters, but definitely watch it.
Watch it at home.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know when it hits streaming services. Look.
That's what I'm saying. When I say watch it or skip it, it basically skip the movie theater and you probably can watch it.
No.
Home.
There's certain movies like
Barbie. I'm not gonna even watch it regular.
Like when Avatar 3 comes out, and yes, there's a 3 in the works.
Oh, okay.
That's a watch it in theaters. That movie is gonna be better on the biggest screen you can find with the brightest lights and the deepest sound you can get.
Nah, they can't come to my house.
This man right here. But no,
Rhea be like, lower that down. I'm in the movie theater, girl.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then we got the big TV.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's certain movies that need to be appreciated on the big screen.
Yeah.
Then there are certain movies that should have realized they
certain
were actually
action
a B movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then other movies that you watch it when you've literally gone through the rest of the Netflix catalog.
Yeah, Meg 2, I think the only reason I want to watch it because I watched 1.
Right. That's
you know what I mean?
saying.
So I want to be like, okay, what did they change? And where did this one come from? Like they went and they said there was no more when they couldn't go that deep.
Exactly. They said they couldn't find any more and they can only go but so deep.
So maybe this one is their relative or something?
So these
or maybe that's the husband that's looking for the wife.
Well, no.
Something, I don't know.
It's not one Meg. So in this movie, they find out that I guess there's another breach in the Mariana Trench. 3 of them come out.
Oh, okay.
And they're not the only things to get out.
Okay.
But it also looks like in this film that they found a way past where they were able to go before. So
they're making it more like a sci-fi now.
Not exactly. It's more so. I mean, it was always sci-fi, right? Like what's beneath the place that we can go. But it's just that they're able to get down there. And my guess is now that they've been able to breach further, they accidentally brought something up. Right? And that's kind of what happened the last time. And this time more stuff comes out. Because I think I saw a giant squid in the trailer, and there are 3 Megs that are in there, and they called Jason Statham because they're like, "Hey, bro, you survived the last one. Can you help us out?"
He's like, "No, because that's why I survived the last one.
You know what I'm saying?
I would not have been helping nobody. Why would I want to go back to that?
But I will admit that the first Meg, although a corny film,
it was kind of interesting.
It was a good action film.
It was interesting, and then it was interesting to the way how they played on the mind of we don't know what's down there, so it could be that they down there. You know what I mean?
I know that when I saw the scene in the trailer where the shark breaks through the glass to eat the girl, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. I just from that moment, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
So we both agree it's a washable. Well, it's not. Is it going to the movie theater or straight to?
It's in the theaters.
Okay,
it's
so
in theaters.
I'd say skip it on the theater, but watch it at your home.
Yep.
Definitely a watch at home.
Yep.
So
stream it.
Yeah, stream it, and what's the stream? It's probably $10 to $15 if you want to pay that. For one ticket and have your family, then okay. But not pay for each. I don't think so. Because those are the 2 movies that I had in mind that I've seen. Is there any other movies that...
You're forgetting a movie that we actually went to in a little event.
Oh, that's what I was just going to say. Yeah. So should I say the TMNT? But then people don't know what the heck that means.
They don't know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, just the syllables. TMNT.
If you don't know what TMNT means...
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Where have you been the last 40
Turtles
years?
in a half shell.
Turtle power.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would know. Even my son, he'd be like, you say turtle, he'd be like, turtle power. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that thing. Yeah, we went, me, Will, and my son, we even though it was not no 20-minute tour, but anyway, it was still fun. It was just us. We had fun watching it. And watching the video game was the one that took me way back.
Oh, yeah.
They had the first video games and stuff like that. But this one here, it's like a mixture, I can say, of the third cartoon, because the third cartoon is when they started getting like comic book colored, like, you know what I mean? Versus a little bit more of a reality. like so
Well,
the
it's
color,
that
the
kinda like
colors alone are.
I would think the closest thing to this animation style that you're seeing is probably like Into the Spider-Verse. That kind of like
Yeah,
cartoon brought to life CGI kind of a thing. I think
like it's coming out the TV basically, you know, like trying to be real.
one of the most recent TMNT series kind of has an art style similar, but not to the same detail. I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this one has a good detail. There was one where they were talking to Ralph, and it was like, "You got an attitude," and he was like, "I don't got an attitude." You can see a little glance of the sweat, you know. So they got the really
more that comic booky feel.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one.
I think that now that if you tell me you want to watch it in theaters, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah,
that's a theater.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a watch it.
That's a fun family thing to go do and go see, and especially I think TMNT, like I said, has been around for 40 some odd years. It's something that you see across generations. Almost every 3 to 5 years, there's a new version of it that they're animating, telling a different version of the story, a different part of the comics still sell. It's definitely a franchise that goes across many generations, so it's worth a watch. And from what I've seen in the trailer, it looks funny, it looks action packed. We just did the live event, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of different things to see.
Yeah, and the one thing about the trailers. Oh no, yeah, we'll get to that one too. But this one
That's
off
been
the
out.
trailer.
That's been out.
That's been out. But off the trailer of TMNT, I like the part that they bringing back to highlight each one of them as a story. You know, right? Because like I think the last two they just highlighted them all and not individually. So now you have the comedy coming back with Michelangelo even more, and you know, and the other ones doing a little bit of comedy, but it's like a dry comedy, but it's still funny.
Well,
you know
what a lot of people are realizing after the Ronin arc of TMNT, which is pretty much set in the future, and Mikey's the last one alive,
right?
Out of their missions against the Shredder, a lot of people.
That comic was good.
Yeah. So a lot of people were like interested in that kind of individuality of the turtle, and so I think you'll see it more even in the cartoon series that they focus more on making sure they develop episodes that highlight all four of them. That like instead of the group, you're gonna get your Mike arc, you're gonna get your Ralph arc. So I think they're bringing that just more to a cinematic level. Where
now
feel that again.
even if you're not, I don't see how, but even though if you're not a fan or a fan of the comic book,
you're crazy.
That one with the Michelangelo, the cover. That he's just standing there. They're not really showing his head.
Yeah, with the
but
hood.
they show the sword here.
Yeah.
Like all the weapons and who survived.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The cover alone, I was like, I had to do a quick dive online to good. I was not gonna pay,
It was worth the money.
No, it's worth the money. The cover alone had me like, oh snap, and I'm like, who survived? Who
And it's a great story, just a good like, wow, this is TMNT. Because a lot of people
because it became more adult.
Yeah,
it's pushing
it's
towards.
not that it became adult. A lot of people forget because the first real major animated series was very much the more comical one.
Right.
With they're eating pizza all the time and they don't really beat up the bad guy, but they beat up the bad guy.
Right. All this, yeah.
But the original TMNT arc and their story, the black and white grittiness.
Yeah.
That it's real. I mean, think about it, right? You got these turtles that didn't turn into mutants who can't be accepted by society, but still take on this task to save it. Like, you kind of got this gritty story going on. This little
I'm gonna save someone that don't like me.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying? Like that. There's a lot that could be done, and it was done. And so that, like, as the years have gone by, the fandom is getting older. They have the ability to tell darker tales more publicly, and then they found this great common ground. I like to call it the Batman animated series kind of cartoon, where they can talk about adult themes or teenage themes, and still find a way to market it towards kids. And I think that's been the last few TMNT storylines. Yeah. So
the thing is, if you do watch it, my son, I've been having him watching, the Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's. I could say a mid fan because he haven't watched all of them from the back. I'm still doing it. But he's such a fan that he was like, Dad, they changed one of the voices.
Yep.
He noticed that. Yeah, he was like, why does it sound more like a female voice? And he was like, wait, they changed his voice. He noticed that every other movie, it was the same voices. Now, this one was changed. Now, that's a fan that,
that peeps that thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't even peep it until I seen the second time the trailer, and I was like, oh, yeah, they did. You know what I mean? I was so in the colors and the story that I didn't hear the voices. But it's... Yeah, at first he thought it was a girl. He was like, is Donatello a girl now? I was like, nah, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't never gonna do that.
Don't say never.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Let's,
No, don't with the identify nothing.
If they ruin TMNT with that,
if they know they cannot do that because all the comic freaks will be done. They'll be so pissed. It's money.
Yep.
But anyway, that's our. I know the engineer was talking about Mission Impossible.
That's been out.
But
it hasn't done that great in the box office.
Yeah, watch it at your home.
Yeah.
Skip it to movie theaters.
Yeah.
So
there's a reason they didn't release it on.
Even though all his movies are pretty good, all the Mission Impossibles,
it's just
I had never really thought of it as a movie theater movie.
Because you watched the original TV series or something.
No, I don't know. I didn't find it like me to sit there and be like, yeah, in a movie theater. I don't know. That's just me.
I would say that in the 90s, it was worth it because like it was big action bucks back then. Right. Like that was like
probably the first two.
The big spectacles compared to what was going on at that time. But the stunts and stuff that they do now, don't get me wrong, they're cool and whatnot. But compared to the visuals and whatever of like a Marvel movie, which some say have ruined the industry, but I think it just took it to another level, right?
Yeah.
Even Expendables, right, which is more of a realistic version. They come with much more visual details necessary for the big screen that I feel like Mission Impossible stuff is like a kung fu flick. I can watch that at my home, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I watch Warrior.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
That's a great TV show.
Listen, I was watching that the other day.
That's a good show.
What else a movie I be having? Like, there's a couple of movies from back in the days that I've been having my son watch, like The Dark Crystal, Warriors of Virtue, things like that I grew up that had some kind of meaning, but it's still action, but you still can watch. Yeah. So, even like Sound of Music, all these other stuff he's been watching.
When you going to put him on the Highlander?
Oh, yeah, that's next. That's which one? The first one or the second one?
Why not both?
Well, yeah, the first one.
There was also a TV series. I used to love the TV series.
But the thing is that the first one, they didn't digitize it, so it looks kind of old. So he be like looking at it sometimes, like he doesn't get into it because of the colors.
Yeah.
So I gotta find one because I think the second one is digitized, so it looks at least a little bit better. But I got him watching that. We were watching like even the old shows, like the Jeffersons and stuff like that. I tell people you have to let them watch some of these stuff so you can see how much this changed. Because people right now be like, it's norm to them.
Yeah.
But then when they watch shows like back in the days, it was like, why was it much better those days than now? Then you realize why people like us complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not giving them something to compare to. That's why. So we watch all those shows.
I can't wait for the kids that don't realize that.
Yeah, we watch, like, we sit there and watch those.
I can't wait for people to, like, they won't know the difference between the original Fresh Prince, Will Smith, and the new Fresh Prince, Bel Air. Like, they were like, there was a show before called Bel Air? Like, no, Fresh Prince.
Yeah. I think the first season was called Fresh Prince and Bel Air. And then they just started saying Fresh Prince.
Yeah, because it got so popular that people
it was just Fresh Prince, But that's why a lot of people were pissed off on the first season. They were like, dang, he's using drugs. But they had to realize that it's a mix. It's not I can't say a remix either.
No. It's and that's the whole thing about it, right? You had the first Fresh Prince, which was meant to be more of like a family comedy.
Family thing.
It was a family comedy.
This is an action.
This Bel Air.
Well,
is
drama.
Yeah,
drama.
You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they're taking all the stuff from the original series, right? And don't get me wrong, it was, like I said, it was a family comedy, meaning that they had to make some realistic stuff.
Oh yeah. They touched some points.
And back then all those shows had morals, lessons, things like that. So of course there's a seriousness to it, but it's not as dramatic. So they're taking all of these concepts from the old show and putting onto these over the top scenarios.
But the only thing I don't like about the new Bel Air is they are a black family in Bel Air, but you're still giving them ghetto ass crimes.
What do you mean?
Ghetto ass drugs. Like, if they're in Bel Air, what happened to the coke and all that? You know what I mean?
He does coke.
No, but I'm saying, like,
he does coke and he pops pills. He's not a heroin addict.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, half of the stuff that, like, they say, like, they have that ghetto mentality when they was not raised in the ghetto.
What are you talking about?
Only Will, but I'm talking about, like, his.
First and foremost, you always forget that Viv.
No, I'm talking about the kids.
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Carlton isn't ghetto. He's popping pills and he's snorting coke. He's not doing heroin.
Didn't the original Carlton? No. Not the original Carlton did it. It was Fresh Prince that Will Smith that did a drug one.
Right.
And then Carlton was the one that finally had a gun.
Yes,
that was Carlton.
Carlton was the gun.
Yeah, he was the gun. So then it was good, like good times. They had little things here and there. Right. So watch these shows with your kids. Even I never watched it when I was young, but All in the Family.
Oh yes.
The one when Jefferson, before he became the clean. I liked it All in the Family because Jefferson was there. He was she was the maid of theirs, right, or something like that, or the neighbor. I think she was a neighbor and became friends with them. And the Jefferson and him saying white jokes, black jokes, back and forth.
Yeah.
It was, but the good thing about it, it was jokes. At the end of the day, you seen them stick together no matter what. And then they are moving on up. They went and they made their own show, the Jeffersons. And the first couple of the episodes, he was there to celebrate and to say, wow, you moved on up, stuff like that. So it was a good thing. But shows like that, because if that show would have been out right now, it would have probably gone 3 episodes before people would have been like, it's prejudice, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't. It was based on reality, truth of what's going on.
I mean, that's the thing. We all know that you can say the most ridiculous or hurtful or whatever stuff to your friends jokingly. The moment it comes out of somebody's mouth you don't know, now it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You say the worst stuff to your friends.
Yeah, it's like, I was just telling Rhea, I wish I would have downloaded the clip. It was a puppet, these puppets. He went to rob a Mexican, and the Mexican was like, he said, the black guy was like, put up your hands, give me your money. He was like, what? Hey, you're black, right? And the guy was like, why, because I'm robbing you? He said, no, because you look black. It had nothing to do with because you're robbing me. And then he takes off his mask. Oh, it's because I'm robbing you. He said, no. It's because you talk black. He said, I'm sorry, you sound African American. He said, oh, why? What does black sound like anyway? And then now they're arguing back and forth. And he was like, I'm just saying, you sound ghetto. Oh, because I'm ghetto, I have to be black. Well, yeah, maybe that's right. He was like, yeah, maybe that one. I'll give you that one, he said. And then he was like, but look at you. It'd be wrong if I say you were a gardener. He said, but I am. Oh, okay. It was wrong if I say you like tacos. He said, yeah, I do. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about getting tacos right now. And he said, me too. He said, yeah, there's one down the street. He's like, but anyway, that's not the point. He's like, what about if I would have said, oh, you don't have papers? He said, oh, now you're going a little too far. He said, you're going a little too far. He said, you see, it hurts. The same thing that, hurt for me. He said, no, it doesn't hurt. He said, what hurts is, what is the difference between, he said, what's long and black? And the robber was like, what? He said, the line in the KFC.
Yo.
So he said, then he came out, he said something about the Mexican. And then the Mexican came back with him. And then the last joke was, the Mexican told him, he said, what's the difference between a black man, father, and a boomerang? He said, what? He said, the boomerang comes back. So the guy said, what's the difference between a regular person and a stoner? Or a Mexican and a stoner. And the Mexican was like, why? He said, the stoners has papers. And he started laughing. He was like, you know what? Now, that was a good one. He said, I like the one with the KFC. And they started joking around. Right. And then the guy was like, you know what? What about that taco you were talking about? He said, yes, down the street. You want to go? Okay. And then it says, you can laugh and joke about everything. And remember, we're still regular.
Right.
But the whole process was that stereotype is based on truth, but it's comedy.
Yeah.
So, they were snapping on each other, and I was cracking up because one came out with another one. I was like, and he was like, okay. And then you see them go, like, forgot about he was getting robbed
and all that.
And they went to the Taco Bell. You know what I mean? Or whatever taco station they were going to.
Yeah.
But it's comedy, and people are forgetting about that. So that's why I said I like that they're doing that new comedy tour where it's not for the far left.
Yeah, no, screw that.
I think it's what's this girl's name? Oh snap! The one from the Brandy spinoff.
The Parkers, Monique.
Mm-hmm. Monique is one of them. That she's the one that made it, and then she brained a couple of comedians on it. So they coming back. They like, no, you don't like, and they got some white people comics too that makes black jokes, and people are cracking up about it. Because they forgot that this guy that's married to the black girl, that he does a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
They were laughing at his jokes, but when other people were doing it, it wasn't. Listen, you can snap on any race, but if you're doing it tastefully, it's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Down, without.
So, like the white guy, he would say, yo, y'all be talking about y'all need white friends. I needed black friends because there was no way I was going down the hood to get that good weed without no good black friends. Everybody was cracking up.
That's true.
He was like, because these white people, they don't know how to roll or nothing like that. So I had to, and then plus it was a give. You know what I'm saying? My boy needed a car. I had a cosign. I needed some good weed. He took me into the Bronx. We got good. I was dying. But he did it in tasteful,
Right.
So it was funny. A lot of black people were laughing and stuff. It's comedy. So don't go to a comedy show and then get pissed off about it and try to be all lyrical.
People who do that.
Listen. Yeah.
No. I'm cool with heckle. But
the thing is, that was prejudice. Oh, you racist. Oh, get your ass out of the damn comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put that video. That video was I was cracking up on that little video. You're black, right? He said, boy. And then he said, you talk black. And then the Mexican thing when he said about the stoner, I was cracking up. He said, at least they got papers.
Yep.
Now, people that don't know about weed, papers, Anyway.
Rolling paper.
Yeah. If I got to explain the joke, it's not funny.
I mean, it's still funny. They're just slow.
Yeah. I know, right? But we got a couple minutes I wanna hit up because I think it's next Sunday. It's going to be SummerSlam.
No, next Sunday is the Great American, or is it? Or no, actually, no, it might be
SummerSlam, right? Yeah, because I know.
This is the Great American Bash comes first.
Yeah, so shout outs to all of them. Shout outs to AEW, passing respect to all the wrestlers that came, even though WWE doesn't like it. Listen, WWE, you do not own the rights to their legacy. You know what I mean?
Well, in some cases they do.
Well,
actually.
paper-wise, but if people want to talk about them and say, as long as they talking nice,
if they're not,
especially you cannot say nothing to Chris Jericho. I don't care who the heck you think you are.
Nope, he was your first undisputed champion.
Yep, and that's why Stone Cold interviewed him on WWE, and he said, if you don't like it, I'll quit.
Yep.
They had to put him. Because he's
it.
history. Well, he's one of them that's giving anyone that's Latino, Chris Jericho jumps to and helps out. Black or Latino, he helps out. So he gave praise to Eddie again.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton did a tweet with the EG band from back in the days.
Yep.
And he said, I can't believe I still think about, so people do praises, AEW do praises, but then there's some of them that do it, like you look at them like, seriously? You're doing it to push the buttons or something,
right?
Like when the guy with the ring from AEW does it. I'm like, nah, he's another CM Punk, so he's an idiot. But anyway, other than that,
Punk.
They doing their thing. Shout outs to, and the reason why I say AEW because I wanted to shout out Billy Gunn.
Oh yeah, Billy Gunn, man.
He's retiring.
He's
put his
managing
boots
right
up.
now, yeah.
Yeah, he put his boots on. I think it was last Friday, or something like that. Whenever, because I always watch it when it's done. Yeah, I watch it at night, so I forget the day. But he put his boots up. He's really, when he was in WWE, he was underrated.
You know what? I can't say that
until he got to like
a DX.
Yeah. And then he was like more, but. When they put him into that gay thing where he was going to get married, and at the end he was like, whoa, we were just faking it for the publicity. What's going on? I don't know. Even though he got pushed a little, but to me he got pushed back a little. Like you took one step forward and two steps back.
Yeah.
But shout outs to him. He's one of the originals that are still wrestling to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actively. He was
now he has his two sons that look identical. Like you can't even deny them.
No, but even before AEW, he was actually wrestling in circuits around here.
Yeah, he was working on matter of fact, he did. I got to miss that one, but he did the BWF one time. He did the New Jersey, so he was doing independent ones
all around.
And then he did Impact as well. Yep. So he never stopped. He was always active, and then he looks built as heck. Like he didn't lose a step. So shout outs to him. I'm hoping that it's just a part of the storyline that he didn't really retire.
Nah, because you know what it is? Like you said, he's been doing this for how long, right? If it's his retirement, I think it's a good time for him to
go down on a high. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then his position right now, even in AEW, he could still be a manager. And the fact that he just retired as an active wrestler doesn't mean that he still can't interfere in matches.
Well, that's the thing. I think I don't think he retired as an active. I think he just retired from the ring. So
that's what I'm
as
saying.
a manager, he could still hit you and do.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, you know, he can still be playing his part, still be physically active. It's just that I don't think he wants to do full-on matches anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the last one was the 3-on-3, which was the match that he retired on. But he wants to let the young ones fly.
Yeah.
Because he said he feels like when he goes into the ring, he wants to lose because he feels like he's outshining them as it is.
Right,
just with his name.
Just by, yeah.
So kudos to him because he realized for them to shine, I got to move back.
The greatest wrestlers in their older years know that it's their time to stop trying to be the star,
right,
and start trying to push future stars.
Yeah, like Chris Jericho. Like they were like, oh, why Chris Jericho didn't stay with the belt too long? Because he knew he was Chris Jericho. He wanted to be the first with the belt, of course,
just so
because
that it legitimizes the belt.
And then now whoever gets the belt has to be as good as Chris Jericho. That's why.
Right.
So that was all perfectly done with AEW. After that, he said, okay, I'm going to fight for the belt, but I'm never really going to take it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So Chris Jericho knows how to play the role. He knows what he's doing. That's why he's Chris Jericho, you know. So for Billy Gunn to do that, I was all for it. But I was sad, like, damn, I'm not going to see him wrestle no more.
We're talking about the great, I know people talk about when Shawn Michaels and Triple H did DX, it was great. True. Hands down. But I'm sorry, when you had X-Pac and Road Dogg and Mr. Ass,
that's when it kicked.
That was the peak of DX.
That
period
pushed it up because now it bring Shawn Michaels to be more comedian, you know, because they were good. Albert and Costello, you know, Triple H and HBK, good together. You know, they said things, and this guy would come out with one. That was good. But then when they bring the other three, it was like the Three Stooges meeting Albert and Costello, bind them together, they became the Little Rascals. You know, it was just like all funny and all jumping. Damn, I'm old. I'm just like, I mentioned all three.
Oh, man. I'm like, you are dating yourself.
Yeah. I could have covered like SpongeBob's or something like that. You know, they were all three old. No, but that's what made it more funnier, you know, the tanks and all this stuff. So that's where Billy and Road Dogg really pop. So for him to keep on doing it and then to see that you guys are not doing it no more, and he was the last of the DX.
That was actively. Yeah.
And he still can fight because the other DXs, they can't really.
Don't sleep on Triple H.
Well, Triple H, yeah, but since he had that scare, he doesn't want to really.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we saw him fight you know, into older age too.
Right.
He went out of wrestling actively for a while to doing a couple of matches, and you could see like. Yeah, I mean, granted, you're not going to get 1996, you know, prime Triple H, yeah. But you're also not getting 2014 Undertaker. So
right, yeah.
He's still somewhere actively good.
But and also speaking about Undertaker, he's doing more signings, and he's thinking about coming back to WWE, but not wrestling. He's thinking about coming back in the back scenes.
Okay.
I think he's thinking about training. But right now they have him doing tours and doing the Wish Foundation stuff and all that. Right. So I think after that would be good to have him training, especially
if they want to make a new Taker, right?
I don't think so. Don't touch Taker. Don't touch.
No. I don't mean
dead person.
No. I mean, like, because, you know, after you had Taker, right, your next big sci-fi character, because even during Taker's era, you had your Visceras and your this and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, there was no one that could beat Taker. Then you made Kane, and Kane almost lived up to Taker, but even Kane will tell you there's not another Taker.
Yeah.
But there's always that character that deals with the mystic, evil, and you had Bray Wyatt. And honestly, Bray Wyatt, before The Fiend, when he just had the family,
right,
was a great, eerie character that even, you know, Taker was like, I can back this. And I think he's someone that could help develop people into those type of characters.
And I think that's what they were trying to do with the Wyatts. But I think that's the Wyatt, it's like one of those curse things. Because now that they were going to do it again with Liz coming back, Wyatt got sick again. Liz got pregnant. So now you only got Bo Dallas there. That's it.
No, but it wasn't just going to be Bo. There was somebody else there.
No, I'm saying, but now there's only Bo Dallas because they didn't get time to bring out the other characters because Liz got pregnant and Bray Wyatt got sick. But now he's coming back.
They didn't. So they never really said what the illness was.
Yeah, but remember he has mental illness as well. So maybe he couldn't cope with it or something that's triggering it.
I also know that you had Vince come back to the company, and
Oh, no, yeah, that was part of it.
And Vince doesn't really like.
Once Vince came back, he got sick,
Yeah,
and Vince was probably the trigger.
I'm saying? So
Vince is the trigger, but now Vince is going out, so now he's coming back. They waiting to Liz kid to be enough, like 7-8 months birth, probably a year, like this girl did.
Becky Lynch.
Becky came back after the year that the baby was, and then had him backstage all the time. So at least enough where the baby already knows who the mother is, and not one of those that the nanny thinks the nanny is the mom. You know what I mean? So I think that's what they're waiting for.
All I say is just remember what John Cena said about why he didn't want to have kids, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I don't think you can have really kids on a thing that you're never really gonna hardly see them.
I mean, it's difficult.
Then you get to the kids, and the kids be like, "Mira, mami, yo quiero." What the hell are you saying?
But what I will say is, I see from the stuff that he was talking about, I see more so with the legacy kids of white kids, because the legacy Latino kids seem to be just fine with their whole heritage.
Because they got the abuelas and all that.
That's just all I'm saying.
Anyway, with that said, how many minutes we got? Oh, we got 2 minutes. But watch it. I'm going with Rhea to keep the belt, of course. If she's supposed to be fighting one of the NXT girls, Dum Dum, or what they trying to move it away from Dum Dum and put him as Dirty Dom.
What, the new Latino Heat?
Yeah, he's on NXT.
I can't tell you how much that irks my soul. Like I think the other night on NXT they said Latino Heat like 80
No, but I love the guy that said you just a thief. You stole the belt. You stole your dad's move, and now you stole your other dad's name.
I was dying. I was like, no, Sammy, no.
I was waiting for him to say, and his haircut. I was waiting.
For real.
I was waiting.
For real. That whole mullet thing.
Yeah, but that was Eddie Guerrero in the beginning.
I know.
In the beginning. So
I'm just like, bro, stop it.
I just like the fact.
Dumb.
I like the fact that he keeps his name. Like, if you don't know who he is, then if you see him, you probably be like, who is he mimicking?
Right.
And the other day, I don't know if people noticed, when he fought for that belt, he had the Eddie EG thing on his pants. So they try to bring, and then with his father's face, that little mask thing
symbol,
on the so they show it. So there's still respect there.
There's legacy in his character.
Yeah, so
sure.
that's why he does it. But Rhea,
that's why he
Rhea
does it.
needs to start fighting more. That's all I gotta say. Oh no, not you. I'm talking about
Ripley.
Ripley needs to fight more. So, but when she does fight, she fight. I liked the fact that last Tuesday she bring up that one new star, even though she beat
Valkyrie.
her. She beat her, but she told her, "Prove me right. Beat the other girl so we can fight again. Prove me right." So like trying to push her more.
Right.
So maybe that'll be the next NXT Women's Champion.
I don't know. That Valkyrie character wasn't working for me in UK, let alone coming to NXT.
Here?
Yeah. They try to hype her up and promote her in the NXT UK, and it was weak to me. It was very weak.
All right. Well, for all our wrestling fans, hope you guys see it. Check out Impact. There's some new wrestlers coming in that I've been watching because there's some of them leaving. So this girl's leaving. The champion, what's her name? That she was a WWE Hall of Famer.
I don't be keeping up with Impact.
I forgot. But anyway, watch them wrestling. Again, wrestling fans. And then there's wrestler fans. So
just NJPW for Sasha Banks.
Yeah, bring her back. Well, maybe. Nah. Too much competition. Keep her there.
They did too much dirtiness to her.
Yeah, keep her over there.
Let's be real.
But we'll see you next week. Have some more stuff going on. Again, watch the video and watch what movie not to watch and what to watch. Barbie. We're in a living Barbie world right now, as it is.
Yeah, that song was fire,
we'll see.
I'm not even gonna lie.
We're a Barbie world.
Nah, not the original. The new
that
one.
Oh, okay.
New one.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Take care and enjoy the heat.